Once again, guys, I really don't know how this video is going to go because, on one hand, I am just filled with so much emotion right now, and obviously, anytime that we beat the Baltimore Ravens is a good day. So there's the thing right there that does it for me. But on the other hand, how many of these high intensity, stressful games are we going to have? I know it's Steelers Ravens. I know whenever they play, you can practically throw records out the windows about division placement standings, whatever you want to throw in there. But if you want my honest to God opinion about it, it's getting old. And it's only aging me faster than I should be normally aging. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday afternoon. I am Mac, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram and on Twitter, or in the description below. Link is in it. I thank you all for tuning into my stream. It was a fun stream today. It was very stressful once again for me, as it always is when these two go at it. And I welcome all my new subscribers to my channel. So once again, I don't know how this video is going to go. But there's a lot of both good and bad about this game. Am I happy we won? Yes, I am. But like I said, it's not a convincing win. It's not, a dominant win. It's just a dub. And you take it from there on out. And you hope to see that your team build off of it. We're going to have to wait another week because next week is the bye week. And we play a chippy Rams team after that. But getting on to this game, I'm going to start with the things that really drove me nuts for this game because I want to get the bad out of the way before I talk about the obvious things that won us today's game. So, Gunnar Olszewski is an absolute clown. He is a worthless piece of trash. And he's Jacoby Jones 2.0 all over for us again. Remember when we had Jacoby Jones? I think it was in the 2015 season when he was one of the, if not at the time, the best return specialist in the league. That's who Gunnar Olszewski's starting to remind me of. And not in the good way. Because when Jacoby Jones was with us, he was god-awful. Muffed punts. Crappy returns. A non-factor. And that's what Gunnar Olszewski is. I can't name one impactful thing that he's done for us this entire stint he's been with us, to be frank with you, because he nearly lost us the game today with fumbling a punt inside our own territory that set up a first and goal situation for the Ravens. And thank God they didn't cash in on it. Why? Because Joey Porter Jr. came up with an interception inside the end zone that led us to what Kenny Pickett did later. I got a lot of mixed feelings on Kenny Pickett for today. But that just seems to be the recurring theme with JPJ. He is making plays left and right in the back in the secondary. He's covering his guys all too well. He does great with the rookie-on-rookie matchups. So why isn't Mike Tomlin putting him in more? And this is why I get on Mike Tomlin the way that I do. He calls the shots on defense. He's the commander of the defense. And you see that Levi Wallace and Patrick Peterson are getting second and third degree burns consistently with the passing game on the opposing team's offense. And Levi Wallace should have allowed an easy touchdown today for Zay Flowers, but thankfully he stumbled on the route and it was an incomplete pass. But if you saw that replay, Levi Wallace was way behind him in coverage. I say to hell with Levi Wallace, bench him, and put in JPJ. We've seen enough of Levi Wallace, and the verdict is out. He's garbage. Patrick Peterson, you were a great corner when you were in your prime. You were one of the best lockdown corners when you were in your prime, but your time is up, brother. It's time for you to retire. Because he was getting burned once again, too. And that just seems to be the theme with the defense. This pass defense is so hit and miss. They come up with turnovers, yes. They come up with big plays, yes. But it just seems like they're bending but not breaking until the final moments of the game when they absolutely need to come up clutch. And that's what I'm tired of it. That's what I'm tired of seeing with this defense. It should not have to consistently come down to that. The pass rush today, I don't know where it was until the fourth quarter. But again, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, that's why you have to mention that they are the best duo with edge rushers in the league. You have to see it why for today. TJ Watt gets another sack. Alex Highsmith, a beautiful strip sack on Lamar, fumbles the ball. TJ recovers it. And TJ had a sack earlier in the game, as I said. That won us the game right there. And I think that's a good way to transition into the good. Because aside from Mike Tomlin's questionable play call that really didn't benefit us in the, challenge, I should say, that really didn't benefit us in the long term. And aside from Kenny Pickett, who I'm going to get into later in a little bit, there were some things to like about today's game. As I just mentioned, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith earning their dough today. Quan Alexander, once again, when you put him in the interior linebacker role and you have him be a spy on the run game, the guy is absolute money. He was all over the field today, making tackles, stopping the run game, plugging up the hole, being physical. That's what we brought this dude in here for, and he earned his dough today easily. Quan Alexander had a phenomenal game today, and I wish we would use him for that position more. I wish we'd use him for that role more. I really do. He's looking better than Devin Bush has at any point in his career with us. He's looking better than Miles Jack was at any point with us last year. And dare I say, he's even starting to look like Ryan Shazier, what Ryan Shazier was supposed to be for this defense. That's the first guy I'm shouting out today is Quan Alexander. The second guy I'm shouting out for today, Miles Killebrew. Beautiful block punt that set up a safety that was recovered in the end zone, but not out of bounds, which resulted in a safety. Miles Killebrew, unsung hero for today. What a play by him. And that made it a 10-5 game. Guy number 3 I'm going to shout out for today is George Pickens. He just keeps doing what he does for, when his number's called up. The guy is just a pure playmaker. And I think there's no argument anymore on who the best receiver on this team is, and it's definitely George Pickens. To hell with Deontay Johnson being WR1, because he's not going to be a Steeler next year as far as I'm concerned anyway, because his extension's over with. Move on from him. Make Pickens your WR1, like right now. Because he's a playmaker. He makes great catches. He picks up them chunks of yards. Look like Michael Jackson, smooth criminal on the field out there. George Pickens is just something else when he gets involved. And for as much of a dot that Kenny Pickett threw to him, with that beautiful laser, a 62-yarder I think it was, to George Pickens in the fourth quarter to make it 14-10, Pickens absolutely gave Marlon Humphrey second and third degree burns with that route that he ran, and he took it the rest of the way. Great game once again for George Pickens. And the final guy that I'm going to shout, the final two I'm going to shout out for today, I mean, it shouldn't come as no surprise. Like I said, Jaylen Warren. Like I said with George Pickens, like how you should make him WR1, you should make Jaylen Warren your RB1. Because I mentioned in the stream, if you get a lead blocker going on for this running game, it can be a lot better. But Jaylen Warren doesn't really need to have that 100% like Najee Harris has to do, because when we're running the ball efficiently with with Jaylen Warren, we are getting those big gashes of yards. How this guy fell into our laps undrafted will always be a mystery to me. He is a substantial great playmaker. And we have to use him as RB1. Plain and simple. And the last guy, like I said, JPJ, game-sealing interception as far as I'm concerned, that set up the go-ahead touchdown from Kenny Pickett. Okay? Now, let me make something perfectly clear about the offense. This was not a dominant offensive showing whatsoever. Matt Canada did not cook whatsoever again. If anything, he took some leftovers from the fridge and microwaved them. That's what he did. The play calling was still horrendous. How many times are you going to motion Calvin Austin III to your left and not use him for a wildcat play or a reverse end sweep when you know that's his biggest advantage with his speed? It's pointless. Why don't we use him more for plays like that? In the same sense that I say, what was the point with trading up with the Chicago Bears with Chase Claypool, who is now in Miami? So the Bears pretty much gave us the 32nd pick overall for nothing. And you draft JPJ with that pick, and you barely use him. He should not have to be a goal line coverage cornerback to come up with a game-sealing pick. He should be in the secondary for 3 downs. Plain and simple. And he's the 5th guy I'm shouting out today is JPJ. This guy, you know you have a great talent in him, a guy who covers everyone well, does great with the rookie-on-rookie matchups. Use him. And it sealed, his interception sealed a certain doom and honestly, a certain rage from our quarterback for today. Look, guys, I'm going to be blunt about Kenny Pickett. I'm not impressed with his performance today. Okay? I think Kenny Pickett is a smart guy. I think he works hard. And I don't think that he's underperforming for lack of effort. Okay? You can tell he's trying his hardest. But he's trying a little too hard. Okay? I said this repeatedly throughout my stream if you were in there. You can be physically strong. And that's great. Which is what Kenny Pickett is. He's physically strong. He can have that good arm when his number's called up to it. He can use the legs to his advantage when his number's called up to it. And that's great. But when you're an NFL quarterback, split-second decisions. And Kenny Pickett just doesn't really have that with me. Yes, the touchdown pass to George Pickens was incredible. It was. But that doesn't save him from the performance that he had for today. Kenny Pickett. Look, if you guys want to call Kenny Pickett a bust, look, I don't disagree with you. Because where I'm at with him right now, all I have to do is wait for the left turn signal in the left turning lane to turn to a green arrow, and I'm there. I am this close to calling him a bust. And he didn't really help us a whole lot today. Still flushing around in the pocket. Still moving too much in the pocket. He ran right into a pass rush that led to a sack again on third down. Still surveying one side of the field. Still doesn't look at the entire field. Still takes unnecessary sacks. Still tries to force passes. Still is too reliant on Pickens in multi-man coverage. Still moves around. He still has over-maneuverability in the pocket. And he's just not smart with where he just doesn't have very good awareness in the pocket. He just doesn't. How many plays does it take for a quarterback to process a decision? How many plays does it take for a quarterback to fix his maneuverability and not keep spinning around and not try to overdo the production in the pocket? It seems like he's just very anxious in the pocket and he's overthinking what he has to do. When you are up against a physical team, your biggest rival no less in the Baltimore Ravens, you have to make smart, quick decisions. Like I said, the NFL is fast. Split-second decisions when you're a quarterback. His mind moves too slow. And it doesn't really look like he's improving. Yes, he has big touchdown passes, sure. But it just doesn't save him. All it really does is just mask the fact that he's looking more and more like a rookie this year than he did all of last year. And that's why I have to say I'm not impressed with his performance today. That's all I got to say, man. I like the guy. I will always cheer for him as long as he wears these colors. I will always cheer for him as long as he's our quarterback. But if I'm being blunt with you, his performance didn't impress me today, and I still don't think that he's been playing good for the whole season. He had one good game in Vegas, and that's it. Yes, he did it to the Ravens on New Year's as well, and he just did it to them again. But one good drive doesn't patch everything up for Kenny Pickett. I'm not going to be that guy that just sweeps everything under the bus for Kenny Pickett. I'm just not. Because I'm not going to sit down here and act like everything's A-okay with the offense just because of one touchdown pass. It's not okay. Matt Canada is still the worst play caller in the game. He should still not have a job, and this doesn't change anything about how I feel about Tomlin. It was a 17-10 game, another close game, another game where we needed to fight back when we shouldn't have even been in that predicament to begin with, and it was another game where the defense had to bail out a certain defeat from Kenny Pickett. That's all it is. But I'll say the same thing that I'll say about every win that we have nowadays, it seems like. I'll take the win. I'll take it, especially over the Ravens. We're 2-0 in the division. But if you want me to be hopeful that we have to rely on the defense moving forward to get us wins and bail us out of our own incompetence, because that's what we did. The Ravens did not play good today at all. They really didn't. They had so many misuses today. Not kicking the field goal when you have Justin Tucker, a.k.a. the best kicker of all time, with a 10-0 lead. Or a 10-3 lead, was it? I know the Ravens were beating us at the time. The Ravens turned the ball over 3 times today. After it was 10-0, the Ravens offense just went stale. 3 and outs. Getting outgained by us in the entire second half, when in the first half, once again, we could barely pick up first downs. We could barely move the chains. And we couldn't just get anything going offensively. Once again. And like I said, it's going to come down to the team that makes the fewest mistakes that's going to win this game. Or not lose it, I should say. But we didn't play perfect either. Despite all the crap that went wrong for us today as well, The wasted challenge, in my opinion. Kenny Pickett's underwhelming performance today. The defense once again bending but not breaking when they should be physical the entire game, giving up big plays, not being able to stop the run, being fooled once again by Lamar's quarterback keeper plays. Despite every, Chooks almost costing us the game with the flag after we pretty much had the game won. That gave the Ravens 49 more seconds to try and win it. When we were forced to kick the field goal. Chooks is garbage, by the way. Get him the fuck out of Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. And especially Gunnar Olszewski being trash. Despite all the stuff that we did wrong today, we won. But it just doesn't feel like a dominant win once again. But like I said, you take the win, you build off of what went wrong, and you actually make some changes, Mike. Like, for God's sake, get Quan Alexander in there. Get Desmond King in there. And get JPJ in there. I don't really have a strong opinion about Broderick Jones. It seemed like he blocked well at a couple of times. But Arthur Millet's sack on Kenny Pickett today, I might have some second thoughts right there. But I don't have too much of a strong opinion on Broderick Jones so far. But you won this game. Now it's up to you to make the changes that you really need to make. And that starts with Matt Canada. For real. But we win it 17-10. I really don't know where we go from here. Besides just, to really make changes. That's all I got to say. And that's really all I got in this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. It's always great to beat the Ravens because, I fucking hate the Ravens. I'll always take a dub over them. Shout out to the real Ravens fans. The rest of you who were, the rest of you who always show up when, you think you're going to win or then you go hiding. You guys want to sit back and question my fanhood because at that particular time, I'm calling it out like it is with the Steelers like I always do. But yet you guys hide when the Ravens are losing. Show some respect for not only me, but show some respect for your frickin' fanhood. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Mac checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody. Go Steelers.